In today's video, I'd like to talk about two things: fret wear, whether you should refret your instrument, and some of the common hot takes surrounding stainless steel frets. Now, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Eric and I'm a stainless steel refret specialist based here in Singapore. If you enjoy this sort of content and nerdy guitar discussion, do consider subscribing to the channel. So the guitar I'm going to use today for my discussion is my lovely 2021 PRS CE Semi. Hello, look at the flame on this guy. And it's very important because this guitar is a gigging instrument to me. I've gigged with it multiple times and I've not refretted it yet. But the fret wear is starting to appear on this instrument. So it's a useful starting point for the discussion. You know, fret wear is something that every player eventually encounters, unless of course your guitar already has stainless steel frets. So fret wear will show up differently depending on how you play. If you play mainly rhythm, right, and open chords and stuff, you start to see the divots appearing in the first 5 frets or the cowboy chord area. But if you play more melody or lead lines, right, this will extend out towards the rest of the fingerboard, usually between the 5th to the 14th frets or even beyond, especially around the G, B, and E strings. And once those frets begin wearing unevenly, a few things start happening. You start to experience fret buzz, notes that are choking out, especially when you bend them. You might get some dead spots and intonation issues. The reason is fairly simple. The worn frets become lower than the surrounding frets, and which interfere with string vibration. Over time, the string is effectively contacting a flatter and lower fret surface, and the guitar can also start sounding increasingly out of tune, especially when you're playing certain complex chords. So now we get to the real question: when should you actually refret a guitar? For me, it depends entirely on the purpose of the instrument. If you own an extremely rare vintage guitar that mostly lives in its case, right, it's a collector's piece, then sure, maybe just leave it alone. But if you actually play the instrument regularly, I generally lean toward making it playable again. That doesn't necessarily mean stainless steel frets. Sometimes nickel silver is the correct choice. However, maybe a fret level and recrown is enough. But this is all highly dependent on the state of the instrument. Because here's the thing: once you start leveling heavily worn frets, the overall feel of the guitar changes because the strings end up sitting closer to the fingerboard. Some players don't mind it, others absolutely notice it. I've personally wrestled with this decision myself, and I'll talk more about those in my guitar showcase videos that are coming up. But let's get into the more common stainless steel fret debates and hot takes. The first hot take is, stainless steel frets sound too bright. From my personal point of view, if you genuinely hear a tonal difference and prefer nickel silver, that's completely fine. I love the sound of this guitar. Even though it has nickel silver frets, it plays well and it's fine. But personally, I think the improvement in playability far outweighs the small tonal differences that people seem to argue about online. And most of the time, we can just adjust the amp's EQ in a couple of seconds and move on with our life. Hot take number 2, I only trust branded fret wire. So you might hear some people insist on Jessica, Evo, or SteelMac. Personally, I'm less concerned about branding and more concerned with the execution. I think it's fair to say that good fretwork matters far more than the brand associated with the fret wire. So that said, if a customer specifically wants Jessica or Evo because that's already the existing fret wire that they want on the guitar, I'm more than happy to go ahead and do that for my customers. But in my opinion, once again, craftsmanship, not the branding, matters more. Hot take number 3, all guitars should come with stainless steel frets. Yeah, I partially agree. I love to see stainless steel become more common, but then there's also a manufacturing reality here. If you talk about, stainless steel frets as part of the, entire package of the guitar, stainless steel frets take more time to work with in terms of installation, leveling, polishing, as well as the tool wear that comes with installing and making it good. If you see a sub 1000 guitar advertising stainless steel frets, my advice is take a look at the instrument as a whole and don't just look at the spec sheet. Sometimes manufacturers give with one hand and take away with another. So on my last hot take, this is my favorite one: why doesn't Gibson use stainless steel frets? The eternal internet debate. So my take is actually pretty simple. Gibson isn't just selling you a guitar. They are selling tradition, heritage, nostalgia, and a very specific playing experience. And this is true for many heritage brands, no pun intended. So whether people agree or disagree with it, nickel-silver frets are historically part of their identity, even for PRS, for instance. So do I think Gibson should switch entirely to stainless steel? No. The people who want stainless steel can always refret the guitar after they play the instrument extensively and bond with the instrument. My personal take is, if you have bonded with the instrument, then it's worth refretting it. But for everyone else and the traditionalists, you know, if they buy Gibson, yeah, they get to keep the experience they already love. Those are some of my thoughts on fret wear, refrets, and the ongoing stainless steel debate. I'm sure many of you have your own thoughts and comments and questions and opinions, so let me know in the comments. Would you refret your guitar or bass with stainless steel, or would you just stick with nickel silver? If you've enjoyed this content, if you enjoyed this video, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Roomfulofgear to keep up with all the latest happenings with me and my refret work. Thank you for watching, stay savvy, and see you in the next video.